Okay, so I'm here at the baseball field, and I'm gonna walk you through the process of the setup, the general idea of setup, and the best way, at least to make it easier for you. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually start from the outside in. And what I mean by that is that you start from the box. We'll set that up first, and then we'll do all the rest of our setup up here. So let's take care of this one first, and then we'll do everything else upstairs. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull my camera out of the box. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up the box and simply put my camera on those screw mounts. Make sure that it is barcode up. If this barcode is facing up, that's the right way. We'll just spin that on there, make sure it's pushing through the hole there, and we'll plug everything in. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention with the plugging in is that notice these notches on the inside wall of the plug-in. If you line those up with the notches on the plug-in there, you will be able to get it in. And don't worry, you won't break anything. But once you feel like you found the notches, you can go ahead and just push it in there. Okay, next we are going to mount the video extender. So the way this works is you have two of these boxes, but which box do you use? Okay, there's one that's labeled receiver and there's one that's labeled transmitter. Transmitter is the one that goes out in this box here. You want the transmitter. Okay, and the way you're going to hang it is face up so you can read it, and then you align this little Velcro strip right here and you just give her a good push. You'll hear her kind of snap, and then she's good to go. We're going to go ahead and give her power. We're going to connect Ethernet. Actually, before we give her power, why don't we just do this? We're going to connect Ethernet right here. This little black cable right here. We're going to push that into the top there. Okay, now that everything has power, I know this looks like a jumble of cables, but just to clarify, this is powering the camera, and this is powering the box. Okay. Now all you do is you just plug in this HDMI cable to the bottom of this, and then plug the other end into the HDMI of that. I'll make sure everything's aligned, and then you can close the box. All your job is, or all your work is done in this section. Next, being that this is closed, both of them are closed, I'm going to show you how to lift this up and latch it. So these little latches on the side, there's one on the bottom, but on the side there, once you unlatch them, you lift this up, and then you take that latch right there and you connect it to, I would say, that thin left side. Just wrap it around or let that hook grab on there, and then it'll hold open. Okay, now that we are done with the setup of the camera down there, we are going to set up two cameras up here and the laptop as well as the ATEM Mini. All right, so let's go ahead and take care of that right now. Okay, so what we've done, we have used this white extension cord, which will always be here. We put power on one side, power on the other side, and both of these are powering the cameras. So that's all hunky-dory, that's all great, okay? And all you have to do is make sure that one camera is pointing out towards the outfield. We'll just do what we can. And then the next camera will point more towards the pitcher and the batter, and that's going to be that angle more or less. So you'll have one for that part of the field, and then you'll have one for kind of whatever you can get for that part of the field. Okay, now that we have all of our cameras plugged in, we are going to get everything connected to the ATEM Mini. The ATEM Mini has its power and then that USB cable for the video. This goes all the way to here. All right, so that's going to power that. And then we're going to plug in on the top of this box, which this box will just always be here. You just leave this as it is. So you'll take the top of this box, you'll plug this into the top, plug the other end into port 1. And you can take a guess. This is probably going to be port 2, and that's going to be port 3. Okay, now that I've plugged the ATEM Mini into my cameras and all that, I have power on it, and I've put ports 1, 2, and 3. So this is going to be the box. This is going to be camera 2. And that's going to be camera 3. Okay. This camera, as of right now, is kind of up for debate whether we're going to continue using it or not, or if we use a different camera or whatever. But no matter what, you will have 2 cameras for sure, preferably 3. All right. Next, we are going to get into our bag, and on this right side here, we're going to pull out this power cord, and we are going to pull out this nice little screen. We're going to set up this screen with a little stand, and this is how people who are running the camera are going to be able to see what they're working on and what they're doing. Okay, so on the back of the ATEM Mini, we are now going to send this video feed out to that little screen there. We're going to plug in the HDMI out to the HDMI over here. And that'll be that. And we have her powered and all that. So he's pretty much done. Okay, now that we have our screen all set up and plugged in, we are going to connect the ATEM Mini to the laptop. So it's just that little HDMI, or not HDMI, that USB-C connection there. You're gonna follow that guy. We're gonna take him, okay? And you're just gonna plug him in that little hole right there, okay? Then you're gonna wanna take your microphone and either plug it in here and see if your cable will reach. But if you need an extension, I have a USB extender. But you will go ahead and plug in your stuff there, and then that'll be that. And then last but not least, the last plug-in of all, that is the most important, internet. So you're going to take that and you're going to plug that in right here. And that is pretty much the setup. That is pretty much how you set everything up. That is pretty much the setup. At least 2 cameras, preferably 3, with the display screen, so that way the camera person can change cameras and they can see what they're seeing. And then we have our points keeper and then our sound. So that's everything.